Good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Columbus Day. And welcome to Power Talk. I'm your host, Jean Adrienne. And tonight, my guest is Reverend Kimberly Marooney. Hey, Kimberly.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I'm so happy to see your sweet face. You know, it was about this time last year that you and I and your wonderful husband, Dana, were together with my friend Karen in Carmel, enjoying vacation. And that was really so cool and so just amazing that we had an opportunity to actually get together and connect.
I was thinking about that sweet time together.
Yeah. And, you know, Karen and I are headed back to Columbus. We're leaving, I think, next month, same time, November 15th, the 13th. We're going back down to do our weekend intensive with Leodale. So, this time we're going to go to Calistoga on our way.
Oh, nice. Nice. You'll enjoy Calistoga.
I can't wait. But, you know, that's not the reason why we are talking tonight. You've got a brand new book.
I do. The Little Book of Angel Healing First Aid from the Heavenly Realms. And I am very pleased with it.
Well, I love it. And, you know, I guess the first question I want to ask you is what inspired this particular book at this particular time?
Well, I'm going to tell a now story and then back up to what you're actually asking me.
Okay.
My mom just died.
Oh, Kimberly, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my mom just died. And, you know, the last couple of weeks, it's been a month now, so it's not just, but it's been, yesterday it was a month. And yesterday was a really hard day. I couldn't figure out why I was having such a hard day until I counted back on the calendar and went, oh, it's an anniversary. And I've been really strong and happy and emotionally well-grounded and doing really well in life. And, you know, when your mommy dies, everything changes.
Never prepared for that.
Everything changes. So I've been having some health issues, and I've been feeling sad and grieving and feeling like a failure, where I haven't felt like a failure in such a long time. So I'm having all these wonderful opportunities to revisit some very deep material that I thought I'd done with. And you know what? I have my new book to help me, because I wrote it for all of these moments in life. And, you know, I wrote it when I was stable and balanced and feeling really connected and powerful. And now in these moments where I'm feeling suffering and I'm feeling, I just need some help. I need some love. I go back to the chapters in my sweet book, and it's all right here.
Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think we're ever prepared to lose a parent. You know, there's nothing that can prepare anybody for that.
No.
You know, because our parents are invulnerable. They birthed us, and we're supposed to be there. They're supposed to be there with us forever.
They're with us, they're in us, and we're, you know, with them and in them. We're literally made up of them. So it's been quite an interesting journey these last few weeks, finding a much deeper gratitude for my mom, for everything she did for me as my mom, finding a much deeper gratitude for the love and support she's given me my whole life, deep gratitude that she lived until I'm almost 63. You know, that's really a blessing to have your parent most of your adult life. And so my dad is still alive, he's still with us, so we have that blessing still. So my chapter on grief has been so helpful.
Yay. So we never know when we're writing these books why we're doing it, you know, and usually it's for ourselves, isn't it?
You know, it is. When I, going back, way back, do you remember Angel Blessings cards?
Oh, God, yes.
Angel Blessings cards, yeah.
Ever.
Angel Blessings cards was published in 1995 the first time.
Wow.
And my beautiful Angel Blessings cards came out of deep trauma and almost dying. And so my early projects, when I worked with angels, it came out of disasters that were happening in my life. It took a disaster for me to open up to be able to co-create with the angels. And then at some point along the way, I said, all right, I don't need to have a disaster in my life in order to say yes and co-create with you. Can't we do this from love and joy? And then it switched over to love and joy, which was really nice. So my last co-creative projects for 6 or 7 years have been coming from, instead of trauma, they've been coming from love and joy and just amazement at the beauties of life. And the little book of angel healing is like that. This came out of such a joyful creative process. And I'm also so happy to have it now when I need to be reminded of the higher states of consciousness that are calling us all into connection.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I have to back up to Angel Blessings. Are they back in print?
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
Oh, because everybody that I know wants their own deck, and they keep trying to, like, steal mine. Like, no, you can't have mine.
I know. So this is the latest version.
Okay.
This was produced by Fairwinds Press. I've been trying to contact the publisher, the editor at Fairwinds Press, and ask them to do another printing. We pretty much ended our relationship with each other a while back, but Angel Blessings is such a complicated process. You know, it's such a beautiful book. It's from the old days before internet.
Yeah.
So it's there are 44 angel images. There are 44 angel images. And there are 42 individual contracts to use the images.
Mm.
Some of them aren't even in English. And most publishers that's just way too complicated for them.
Yeah.
When I did, this is probably more than you wanted to know, but when I did Angel Love Cards, my publisher sent me to, what was it, Bridge? One of the big photo stock companies. Who are they?
Like Getty Images or something like that?
Yeah. Who was it? Superstock.
Okay.
They sent me to Superstock. And all of the images in Angel Love Cards came through one contract with Superstock.
Huh.
And that's what they like to do now. So I was limited to what Superstock had as opposed to Angel Blessings, where I went all over the world looking for the pictures I actually wanted rather than what do we have available.
Right, yeah. Okay.
But also in Angel Love Cards, the thing that was very sweet is that Superstock had images that just weren't available before, in the dark ages before the internet. And one of my favorite pre-Raphaelite painters, James Tissot, was on Superstock. And so I got to use a number of his paintings. Let me see if I can find a few of them for you. Of course. Yeah.
Well, while you're looking, I just have to say, when I first met you, oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that spectacular? This is a James Tissot. I think I have about 6 or 7 of them in Angel Love Cards.
Yeah.
And
when I first got my hands on Angel Blessings many, many years ago, actually I was led to them by this little old lady. She was like 90 some odd years old that came to me as a client, and she had these cards, and I had to have my own deck, and I just assumed that you were way older than me because the wisdom in the book was so deep and so profound. I thought, goodness gracious. And then when I met you and you're like half my age, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how can this be? Because the wisdom that she brought through in this book is just so amazing. It was some of the deepest learning that I got back in those days, and it really kind of got me on my path. So thank you very much for that.
Oh, thank you. Almost Dying has a way of taking you far deeper within than you can normally go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that one. Well, I guess I came close to it with the eye thing, Okay. Let's get back to the little book of angel healing. So can you share with the viewers tonight a little bit about kind of what that's all about, and what are the angels trying to assist us with the different healings that are in there? They're specific prayers.
So it started out, I've been, for the last 10 years, I've been blessed with really incredible health and strength. I'm the healthiest and the strongest I've ever been in my life. But about a year and a half ago, I went through a little short time where I wasn't feeling very well. And because I'd been so healthy and strong, it was really irritating that I wasn't feeling very well. And so I got to the point where I was one day praying, and I was praying in my prayer. I was just saying, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. You know, it was one of those prayers. You know? Just fucking tell me what to do, you know. I'm listening. And so, you know, I started to write, because that's often how the dialogue happens with me. I'll ask a question, and the answer will immediately pour through my energy field, comes in through my crown chakra. I feel it in my whole body. I feel my energy field expanding out. I feel the energy coming down my arms into my hand that writes. Mm-hmm. One of the people that has to handwrite, I can't type it. It won't work if I try to type. Yep. And so, you know, I have all my colored pens, because it has to even come in the right color.
Me too. And my journal looks like somebody threw up a rainbow.
Right. And then the message starts to come through, and it's a little like I'm talking to myself, but it's not really me talking to myself, and it's clear it's not really my usual kind of self-talk. So I hear the message, I feel the energy of it in my body, and then my hand just starts writing it out. Mm-hmm. And hopefully I'll be able to read it later when I come back. Right. And so this particular one, Archangel Raphael showed up, and he led me on this journey into the healing clinic, Archangel Raphael's healing clinic. And the thing that was so different about this experience was I was there. I could see it in a way, far more visceral way than I usually see. I could see it, I could feel it, I could taste and smell it. I was there in the healing temple as Archangel Raphael led me every step of the way. From coming in the front door to be welcomed by a comfort angel, who knew, who just held me in love that made everything just so sweet. And burdens dropped off that I didn't even know I was carrying. And then she guided me down this beautiful hallway to my own personal healing room that's always there for me. It's just always there. We go inside, and, you know, it's not like a healing room. It was more like a temple that happened to have a really amazing bed in it. I'll call it a bed. It didn't look like any kind of bed that we usually have. And all around this room was beautiful art. There were beautiful sculptures, there were books, there was all of the resources I was thinking I needed, there were stacks of money, there were beautiful gems and pearls and bars of gold. This was a really amazing room. It was so beautiful. So the comfort angel brought me in and had me lie down on this bed. And I lay down, and instantly all of the pressure was off of my whole body, and it was like I was floating. And, you know, we don't even notice how much pressure is on our body. We don't notice the pressure from the air or the pressure from gravity. You know, we don't pay attention to the pressure of our little bottom on the chair, you know, or our hands on the table. We don't pay attention to the pressure of our glasses on our nose or our clothing on our bodies, because it's just part of life. If we're paying attention to all those things, we'd be just terribly distracted. But when I lay down on this table the first time, it was such an amazing experience because there was no pressure anywhere. And there was this amazing feeling of floating in bliss. Mm. Oh, it was just remarkable. So, you know, I hung out there for a little while. And then one by one, these beautiful radiant light beings came in. And, you know, there was a sort of a body there, kind of a human sort of a body. But they were so radiant and glowing that they were just magnificent. And they came and they circled all around me, and they put their hands on my body. everywhere. So I had these angel hands all around me, kind of like that.
Uh-huh.
The energy that they were directing into me was such a sweet and gentle and tender love that the health issue that had been going through actually just dissipated completely in that session. Was completely gone. By the time we finished, it was completely gone.
Wow.
And so what the angels explained to me was that when we come into this healing clinic, we are taken back to the essence of who we are. And all of the issues of our life, including physical challenges, don't stick here. They just kind of roll off, melt off onto the floor, and will go away. And we're restored to the fullness and the pleasure, the interior pleasure of who we truly are. And so as it was feeling like it was coming close, I was saying, you can't make me leave. I'm not going. And they were saying, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So breathe and relax. We're not going to make you leave. You can stay as long as you like. And we're going to actually leave a trail here so that you can come back here any moment. All you have to do is close your eyes and take one breath, and you can be here. And we're going to do something else that's way cool. So the next thing they guided me through was merging realms. So we merged the realm that my healing room was in with the realm that I'm sitting in right here in my office realm, third dimensional office realm, so that my healing room is literally existing simultaneously here in my office room.
That is so cool.
I will tell you, it is amazing. So whenever I'm feeling, having a little challenge, I just close my eyes for a minute and I breathe and I remember what it feels like to be in my healing room, and there I am. And so from there I can access any of the resources that I need. I can come back and ask the light beings to come back and hold me in love again. I can call in the comfort angel. I can access the wisdom that's there in the books. I can feel the devotion and love that's in the statues and the art. I can go there and meditate and connect in oneness with all that is. I can lie on the table and float in eternal peace as long as I want. And the beautiful thing is, since it's outside of time and space, even if I just have 5 minutes in my third dimension schedule, I can float as long as I want. And when I come back, I'm still within my 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't know if everybody who's watching this show is having the same experience that I am right now, but you basically transmitted that whole thing. And I felt it, I saw it, I could taste it, I could smell it. I was there with you. So thank you for that, because that was pretty freaking amazing.
So when you go on the full journey, that was a short version, a tour. That was a guided tour. When you go on the journey yourself, you go into your own healing room. You get assigned your own permanent healing room, and when you walk in the door, it has the treasures that are meaningful for you. And then the light beings that are in service to you come in and surround you and help you merge the two dimensions to have that living everyday experience. And that's what the Little Book of Angel Healing is all about. That was the heart and the core and the start of this book.
Cool. But you have you've got pathways for all different kinds of healing in that book.
So
some of them.
A few years ago, the web developer that I was working with, one of our angel ministers, gave me the immense assignment of going back through 10 years of emails from people and pulling out the key stories, the key questions they were asking me. So I'd done that. I had pulled out about 15 key stories that people had asked me in a bunch of different versions. And so for angel healing, I consolidated the stories. But some of the stories were so fabulous that I just kept them intact the way they were. So in here there are the Angel Healing Clinic is the start, and then that's followed by 29, I'm going to call them remedies. In here I call them personal angel healing prescriptions, personal angel prescriptions. And so there are 29 of them that answer what we mostly have challenges with. So I'm going to read you, so number 4, Help Me Change. They all start with a little scenario at the top. Some of these are straight out of one email, and some of them are composites. So this was one fabulous email that I got. And I thank you, whoever you were. I don't remember, but you were awesome. She said, I'm going through a transformation and growth process. I'm in a tough place where I'm looking at the areas of my life that are not working. How can I gain clarity to make the best decisions? I couldn't possibly set that up better if I tried.
Yeah.
So then I have Help Me Change. So I talk a little bit about it. Enter the Change Angels, Change Angel team. Each of these remedies has a team of angels. So we have the Change Angels. And then we have the Angel Prescription, which in this case is the 4 Steps meditation, which is a beautiful meditation that I received actually from the Master Jesus. The first step is to gain awareness. So you gain awareness of, well, what's the problem? What's changing? What don't you like? To gain self-awareness. What is your body telling you? What are your emotions telling you? What are your thoughts telling you? What is your soul telling you? What are the circumstances of your life trying to show you? So it's an opportunity to just simply observe without any judgment, just simply observe. Step 2 is to cherish change, because unless we're up for it, if we're hanging on for dear life, we're just going to suffer. So if we can get to the place where we can cherish change and be ready, willing, and able to allow this change to happen, then good things can happen. So step 3 is to be receptive. Often when we're hanging on for dear life, we're so close, trying to hang on to what we don't want to lose, that we're not open to receive what's trying to come in. So when we cherish change and then be open to receive, that's when the miracles can happen. And then step 4 is once we've received clarity or energy or a vision or instructions, sometimes we get step-by-step instructions, it's time to take action. Because if we don't do anything, nothing's going to change. And what was the purpose of asking? So that's where the rubber hits the road, using that metaphor. That's where we take action, and the sooner you can take action while you're still in the aura of that energy, the easier it will be for you. If you wait, the old fears and the old pain and the old suffering comes back in, your feet turn into lead again, and it can be very difficult to take even the simplest of steps. So the best time to do it is immediately when you're still in that energy of that joy and love and clarity and direction.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So Kimberly, how can people get their hands on this book?
So it's on Amazon, and it's on Barnes & Noble, and it's on Indie Books or something like that. Okay. If you go to Angel Healing First Aid, that's it, angelhealingfirstaid.com, you'll be able to sign up for some gifts that I have for you. And when you scroll down the page, you'll see a little sneak preview, a sample of a little bit of the book. And right under that are links to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and that other indie publisher one. Cool. So you can pick the one you want, click on the link. My publisher, Hampton Roads, has done such a beautiful job. They did this beautiful cover and the fabulous book layout. And they also did a beautiful job on Amazon with the book listing. So there's some excerpts and some pretty images. They went all out on that. So I thank Hampton Roads for that.
Very good, very good. So what's going to be next for you?
Oh, this just came out. This is almost hot off the press. I still haven't mailed out my thank you copies to the people who contributed some beautiful things in here. Because the last part of each chapter is a blessing. So some of the blessings are prayers from the 365 Days of Angel Healing, Angel Prayers, 365 Days of Angel Prayers. And some of the prayers are from a few of my other friends that I really cherish and love. So I wanted to bring their energy, and I want to mail the books out to them. So the next step is to just really bring the little book of angel healing out into the world in a way that I will enjoy. So I'm doing events, I'm speaking like this, I'm inviting friends to join me. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. It's fun after all that hard work. It's fun to have the playtime, which is, for me, sharing is the playtime. It's the fun part.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're just so blessed to have you as our elevator to God, because that's what you are, and bringing all this amazing information in from the angelic realm that we might not have access to otherwise. Although they do have a pretty good way of getting their messages, where they need to get to, for sure.
No kidding.
But yeah, this is really, really great. And so if you guys check Kimberly out. Her website is KimberlyMarooney.com, KimberlyMarooney.com, and that way you can keep track of what she's doing, where she's going to be, and actually maybe go meet her in person, because you would just absolutely adore her. I promise you that. And get the book and use the book. And if it takes 29 days or 29 years to go through all this, it'll be the perfect time.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it, is you can read it straight through, because actually the 30 different remedies, there's this really beautiful undercarriage to them. I could write 30 different remedies, but what's the fun in that? So, I did the thing that I do best, is I looked at systems of energy, and I ended up looking at 6 different systems of energy, including one from Barbara Marx Hubbard, one from my beloved mentor Judith Larkin Reno, and mentor and friend, and a couple of others, and overlaid them to see what's happening really with this energy. And so I ended up with, it's not in the book so that you would see it, it's the secret undercarriage.
Sure.
But I ended up with this beautiful lattice work of 7 spiritual initiations that we go through. There are 7 archangel activations in there. There are these beautiful ways that we open up to spirit in our awakening as we're going through our progression. So our transformation. So if you read the book from start to finish, you will get the full effect of that awakening consciousness. It was really designed, though, to use as we need it. So, for instance, if you're suffering from grief, there's a chapter on grief. If you're afraid all the time, like for most of my life, I was terrified all the time. So chapter 9 is I'm afraid all the time. Chapter 8 is I feel overwhelmed by the challenges of my life. Chapter 7 is I'm sinking into sadness and depression. Chapter 6 is help me to heal my health challenges. Chapter 5 is my life is falling apart. So it's things like that. And then toward the end, it goes into things. Oh, one of my favorites is I am not stubborn. That one is a fun story. But then toward the end, there is so much that's happening in the world right now, and so I needed to include that. So there's a chapter on hunger, whether you are facing hunger personally or whether you are witnessing hunger in your community or other places in the world that are popping out to you. There's a chapter that encourages you to become a hunger activist. There's a chapter on violence. So again, whether you are personally experiencing violence in your life, a family member is, or whether you're watching one mass shooting after another on TV, or the wildfires burning down people's houses, or the floods consuming people's houses, or the earthquakes burying people in rubble, or the tornadoes, or, well, that's another one on natural disasters. But violence, I jumped ahead there, violence. There's one for what can we do when we're witnessing violence. There's one for political unrest. I don't know about you, but I occasionally wake up and think I'm going to vomit when I watch what's happening in the news. And, I have to honor that reaction of my body and say thank you and take a step back and breathe and recognize that we are in a massive awakening right now. What do we do about that when we don't like what we see? And so there's a chapter on political unrest that encourages you to become a spiritual activist in the way that's right for you, which could simply be an active prayer life. Or it could be like me, I'm 63 now, and for the first time since 2 years ago, I've been actually going to marches. I've been in some big marches in Seattle. I've been in some little marches in my little hometown here. And I've been seeking out marches when I travel. Is there somewhere I can go stand? Are there women standing somewhere? Is it Friday afternoon to hang out on the steps of a courthouse somewhere? So I've become much more of a political activist wherever I could, because in my life, I've been, up to this point, I've been blessed to know that we were basically okay and I didn't have to do anything,
Yep.
So now, political unrest. There's a chapter on animals, natural disasters. And then my favorite one, the number 30, is help me to manifest the powerful visions that I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I had so much fun and pleasure writing this book. So there's something in it for every experience that we're having in life, whether we're wanting to just open our heart more, whether we want to connect with our soulmate, whether we want to become an activist of some sort. It's all in this wonderful little book. And I'm really pleased because it's a size that fits in a pocket. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor of spiritual psychology. And when I wrote this book, I got a doctor coat. Because I never really let myself experience that I'm a doctor. So I got my doctor coat. I had my name embroidered on it. And, I had a patch made up. And this fits in the pocket. So I have my doctor coat now with my little book in my pocket reference. I
love it.
I'm just in bliss.
Well, I'm in bliss from having the opportunity to talk to you tonight, and we have run out of time, but this has been amazing. So, viewers, make sure you get your hands on your book, which is the little book of angel healing, and also check out Kimberly's website, KimberlyMarooney.com. And next week, my guest is going to be Catherine Kerrigan, and we're going to be talking about breath work and how breath work can support you in making the changes you desire in your life. And until next time, remember, people who take responsibility for their lives create the reality they desire. I love you all. I'm glad to be back.